one of the hottest areas of investment has been healthcare biotech. Humacyte is a company that focuses on regenerative medicine and tissues engineering. The company announcing this morning that it has raised $150 million in Series B funding, led by my next guest. Joining us right now is the former CEO of Credit Suisse and Humacyte investor, Brady Dougan, and Humacyte CEO, Carrie. Good to see you both. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, congratulations. Brady, I want to talk about this money raise, but Carrie, let me kick it off with you. Explain Humacyte and why this particular $150 million raise was so important for its growth.
Thank you. Yeah, this was really wonderful for us because Humacyte has a really groundbreaking new biomedical engineering platform. So what we are developing now is a new human blood vessel that should be able to be implanted into nearly any patient. And in a few months, early evidence suggests that this now becomes and functions as if it were the patient's own blood vessel.
Wow.
So the potential now is very exciting for us. Our first product is in hemodialysis access. So when patients' kidneys fail, they have to go in for dialysis several times a week. And most of the time, they have to have something implanted called a vascular conduit in order to allow the dialysis to take place. Most of those conduits today are Teflon. Our goal is to provide patients the option of having a new human vessel, which we think has the potential to actually last longer than the Teflon option, with potentially fewer complications and fewer surgeries needed. So if this actually proves out in the final stage of clinical testing, this would be a remarkable benefit not only for patients, but also have significant healthcare cost savings as well.
It's a huge development. Brady, you're a Wall Street guy, the CEO, former CEO of Credit Suisse. What are you doing involved in this company?
Well, I think regenerative medicine is going to revolutionize the healthcare business over the next 5 or 10 years. So I think this is going to be equivalent to what you saw with sort of the genetic revolution. I think it's going to be a huge impact on the business overall. I think, as always, if you can find companies that can be out on the front edge of that in terms of the development, those are great investments. Yep. Those are great places to be. And I think Humacyte is exactly that. It's going to be one of the leaders in this area and, very, very interesting, I think, opportunity from an investment point of view.
Is the ultimate goal to take it public?
Well, I think the good news is, and Carrie can speak to it, but the great thing about this financing commitment is that it actually carries the company through to commercialization. So, certainly going public could be an opportunity at some point, but the company doesn't need to. And that's, I think, one of the great things is that we can just focus on developing the business and developing the pipeline going forward.
To that point, Carrie, how far do you get with $150 million?
So you get through the burn rate, right?
Yeah, you get through the phase 3 trial of this product, but how much farther than that?
Yeah, we're anticipating that we could actually complete the development of our first product in hemodialysis access and potentially launch it into the market ourselves. It's a highly targeted market in the U.S., so we could probably go it alone in the U.S. The other great thing, though, about the raise that we were able to do is bring in funds that allows us to actually begin advancing the other pipeline products. Our company was founded by a brilliant scientist, Dr. Laura Nicholson, who, by the way, yesterday was just elected to the National Academy of Medicine. So we're enormously proud. They recognize only the best of the best for that. So we're quite excited. But one of the things that she did was found the company with the goal of eventually being able to create a replacement vessel for use in coronary surgery.
Wow.
So when people need bypass grafting, they could take one of these vessels, which is available off the shelf. We grow these ahead of time. They can be shipped and stored in the hospital pharmacy and taken out, implanted by the surgeon at the time of need. So it's a pretty revolutionary technology.
How about the demographic demand? I mean, I completely agree with regeneration, obviously, but if you think about the demographic demand, we have this baby boom society that is moving specifically into the sweet spot of where you want to be. Is that part of how successful that asset raise was? Do you talk about that?
And the growth story of the company.
Absolutely. If you look particularly at hemodialysis access and the need in that marketplace, that is driven dramatically by the aging population, by smoking, hypertension, diabetes. It's all the things that are driving the U.S. healthcare burden.
Before we go, Brady, got to get your take on how financial services has changed. Given what you've seen over your long career in financial services, the regulatory environment obviously has changed the game and dictated balance sheets. How would you characterize things today?
Well, I think it continues to be pretty tough. I mean, as we talked, I think, back in June about the continued evolution of the markets and the regulatory environment. I think you're seeing with the third quarter, obviously you're seeing evidence of the continued, I think, difficult task it is to continue to adapt these business models to the new environment. So, I think it's going to continue to be hard for a while. So clearly, a lot of banks adjusting their strategies, and hopefully we'll get to a more stable situation where the strategies and the markets and the regulatory environment all sort of sync up better.
Which is why you're finding growth in a different place. Is the FDA less bureaucratic? I mean, what's your feeling in terms of actually getting the first product through the FDA bureaucracy?
FDA had granted us fast track status last year, which is a way to recognize the potential medical importance of new products. And under that designation, you have the potential to get a slightly faster review through the agency. So we've had good interactions with them.
Fantastic. We'll be watching. Good to
Thank
have
you
you both
very
on the
much.
program.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Keith.
Carrie Cox, Brady, Dougan there, Humacyte. We'll be